Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks. Happy to be
Well,
here.
it's noon. I think we can get started, and if anybody else trickles in, we'll let them in. So again, welcome. Thank you for joining us. So we are all from Main Street Bank, and today we're spilling the tea. We're going to tell you how we went from an average Google review score of 3.4 out of 5 stars to 4.7 out of 5 stars in less than a year, and what the steps we took to get there.
Great.
So this isn't our first rodeo. I'm sure everybody's been on a Zoom call, at some point in the last 2 years. So just before we get started, just a couple of quick housekeeping details, just so that you're all in the know. We are going to try and keep everyone on mute while we're presenting, just to eliminate any background noise, anyone that's speaking, so that you can hear everything okay. But we do encourage you to use the chat feature at any time, submit any questions that come up throughout the presentation. We are going to have a few minutes at the end to answer those questions, so don't worry about that. We're also recording this session so that we can share it with you after the fact. And in addition, we'll share all of our speaker contact information with you afterwards as well. So if you think of anything, later on and want to ask us, that's what we're here for. So you can certainly reach out to any one of the speakers with your questions today.
Great.
And speaking of which, our speakers today, so it's the marketing team at Main Street Bank. We're really happy to have you here at your lunchtime. My name is Jamie Conahan. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Main Street Bank, and I have my team here with me. So I'll turn it over to Alden to introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Alden Whitman, and I'm the Social Media Coordinator for Main Street Bank.
Hi, and I'm Kauthar Al-Sharif, Marketing Specialist at Main Street Bank.
All right, thank you. So just a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. So we are going to talk about why Google reviews matter, why you should be paying attention to them, why they're important to any organization, at least to be aware of. We'll also talk about how and when to ask your customers or your clients to leave you a Google review or an online review at any time. We're going to cover what strategies worked for us here at Main Street Bank and how those might be able to work for you as well. And then cover some things of, what you want to aim for and what you want to avoid when it comes to good Google review etiquette and practice.
Thank you, Jamie. I'm going to start by asking you a question of how many of you have looked up a restaurant or looked up a product, the reviews for it before actually purchasing it or going to that location. I think we've all done this. It is a deciding factor for so many consumers and customers. 63% of consumers say they are likely to check reviews on Google before visiting a business. So it is really impactful of how much it affects our decision making of where we go or what products we purchase or what services we choose to go with. It also affects your local search engine optimization ranking, meaning kind of Google helps you rank up in the search or be more searchable or found easily by your prospects or customers if your Google reviews are 4 stars and above. And Alden will talk about this more in details in the next slides. Definitely increase your brand trust, especially if you're on top of everything, making sure you're responding to every review. And it also is a free feedback tool. It shows what type of service, who are you, the tone you use, especially if you're responding to comments, thanking your customers, and also gives an information about your service or product to your prospects and customers.
Thank you, Kauthar. So we talked a little bit about, mentioning how you want to ask for reviews and when you want to ask for reviews. There is a strategy associated with that. So what we found is the how side. There's certainly many ways that you can go about asking for reviews, and it's always good to have a layered approach with multiple messages, but hands down, the most effective method that we have seen here at Main Street Bank is to ask. Actually ask personally for those reviews from your customers. And, I saw Melissa put something in the chat there that, people tend to forget. We forget to leave positive feedback or any feedback when we interact with a organization or a business or go out somewhere, and that's human. We just are moving on to the next thing on our to-do list, right? So it's that makes it that much more important to actually ask, because now you've established that connection. Not to mention, people are highly more likely to share a negative experience publicly, whether it's talking to their friends, their family, or putting something out there on the internet, versus leaving feedback on a positive experience that they've had. So asking for all the reviews and feedback, all that you can personally, is going to help. We actually ended up building that process of asking for reviews into our process when it comes to helping our customers, whether it's opening a new account, handling a question, doing any kind of maintenance, anything like that. Our team has built it into their process of wrapping up the conversation with asking if that person would be willing to leave us a review for what we did today. Again, you can add in those layers of reminders wherever possible. So for example, you can put a link to leave reviews in your company email signature, so it always sends out whenever you communicate with customers. You can send reminder messages via email, through text, if that's something that's available to you, to help remind them to leave a review for you. One thing that we've also started doing is actually featuring reviews on our homepage. So we'll call out people's reviews that they've left for the bank, putting it on our homepage. Number one, that features some of the great experiences that our team has been able to provide for our customers. But number two, it also reminds people that, hey, I've had a positive experience dealing with them too. I can go leave a review as well. So always link everything back to where that person can leave their own review. And then thinking about when you want to ask for those reviews, timing matters. You want to do it when you've had that positive interaction with somebody, right? You've answered their question, you've helped them, establish for us, open a new account, or, do something banking related. But anytime that you've been able to help them reach an answer, resolve a situation, they're leaving your office happy, those are the best moments to ask someone to leave a review, because they're going to leave that positive feedback.
Thank you, Jamie. What personally worked for us, or what strategy we followed, was the following. The first thing was internally getting everybody excited about Google reviews. We created contests, fun gifts shared between branches, which branch got more reviews or got more 5 stars for this month. So basically getting the team excited about asking for those Google reviews. Second thing was setting a reminder. The reminders were more for us, the marketing team, making sure that letting everybody know, did you remember to ask for those Google reviews? Like or asking that customer about that great feedback they sent you via email or personally. Did you ask them to share this publicly on our Google reviews or on our website? Celebrating every 5-star Google reviews. We celebrated, gave shout outs to everybody internally on Teams. It's a platform or channel that we have. So use whatever channel, whether it's something printed out at your location or digitally, to celebrate and recognize every 5-star Google reviews that you get, to create the excitement, and also show how important it is for your employees and for your business. Show your staff or team how to leave a Google review. If they are not familiar with it, it's not easy to ask for it. We asked everybody to choose their favorite store or restaurant and leave them a Google review. This way, if a customer asks, they can actually show them easily how to leave a Google star, how to leave a review. Make it easy. Like Jamie said earlier, QR codes people are now so familiar with QR codes and how to scan them. That takes them directly, make that available where basically you're serving customers, or where your customer actually have a way, or where they are sitting, so they can literally scan it, take them directly to your page, so they can leave their review. Make sure to respond to every single review, whether it's positive, negative, no matter how many stars you get. That shows that you care, and then you're up to date with your business, know what's being said about you, and also gives information for your customer about what type of business you have, what type of service you offer, and what you're working on, and how recent like you've answered those reviews. Um, the last thing was the language or an email template. That can be something that you create with your own tone that you can share with your employees to send easily, like a template. And here's an example of something I pulled online, and there's tons of examples that you can find. You can take inspiration from, edit your way, and basically give it to send it to your employees, and that this way they can send it to a customer they served and ask verbally. Establish that, let them share that with them, like, thank you so much, I'll share with you later on an email. If there isn't a service that you already have, just let them expect that this is going to come their way, and they can leave you a review.
Thank you, Kather. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about why you really want to aim for at least 4, ideally 5 Google star reviews. So you really want to have an average of 4 or more stars with your Google reviews because, well, 3 stars is technically a positive review. It really translates to mediocre online, which isn't something that you want to be associated with your brand. Additionally, if people are ever searching for the best of something on Google, Google is not going to show them any business with fewer than 4 stars. So you really want to hunt those higher level reviews. It's also important to get a lot of reviews. The more reviews you can get, the better, especially because a high number of positive reviews is going to both increase your business's credibility, and it's also going to protect you in case of any negative reviews that might drive your average down. Secondly, all of your reviews should be from real people. You should never buy fake reviews in an attempt to boost your page. Partially because buying fake reviews is highly unethical, but it's also illegal. The Federal Trade Commission forbids any undisclosed paid endorsements, and violators of this law can face heavy fines. Fake reviews are also really easy for Google and your customers to spot, and Google periodically removes these suspect reviews from your pages. Customers can also flag reviews that look fake, and Google will take a look at them and possibly take them down as well. So to put it simply, don't even bother trying to purchase fake reviews for your business. There are better ways to get real reviews from real customers. It's also worth noting that fake or disingenuous reviews can appear on your page for various reasons. And just like your customers, you can also go in and report those reviews for Google to take down. And no matter the content of your customers' reviews, you really should try to respond to all of them. 53% of customers expect a review response within 7 days of their posting. So you want to respond to those because it shows your customers that you're an active business owner who cares about your customers and you care about their experiences. And then in regard to your page, you want to make sure to frequently update your listing on Google. You should have all of the relevant information available. At a bare minimum, customers will want to see your business address, your hours, a link to the business website, and a phone number they can call with any questions. It's also good to go above and beyond with your listing and post some pictures yourself of your business. It allows you to frame your business in a more professional light, and customers get the first impression of it in a very good way.
Thank you, Alden. So we always like to wrap up any of these presentations with some key takeaways and action items. So you've got something you can work on as soon as you get off the call today. So in terms of getting yourself set up for Google reviews, there's a couple of things that you want to pay attention to even before you start your whole strategy on collecting more reviews for your business. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that your Google business listing is claimed. So basically that means that you own your listings on Google. You manage them. You're able to, as Alden said, adjust the information on them. It's also a way that you can easily see and respond to reviews within Google. It's called Google My Business. So if you know you already have your listings claimed, great. That's step one. If you don't know, there is a way to easily find out if your business listing is unclaimed. So basically what you want to do is Google your business name. And if you have a name that's pretty prevalent, probably include the location area just so that you find the right one. But essentially what you'll see, and the example here is the XYZ law firm. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll see your business listing that Google has. And if your listing is unclaimed, you're going to see a link that says own this business with a question mark as an option. You can click on that and it'll take you through the process of how to claim this business listing. Google also offers pretty detailed instructions on how you can claim your business if you have not already done so. So basically just do a Google search on how to add or claim your business profile on Google, and you should find instructions from Google. Hand in hand with your Google listing is your website. So it's just important to make sure that your website's up to date and reflecting your brand as you want it to. So, some things to consider. Does your homepage have a up-to-date date on it in terms of when it was last edited? I know I've gone to some websites out there that have last updated in 2016, and it's like, oh, okay, is this legitimate? So you just want to make sure that what you're putting out there appears, up to date and relevant. You also want to make sure that your homepage has a meta description. So what that is basically when you Google something, and I have the example for Main Street Bank here, just so you can see what that looks like. It shows what that website is about, what that business is about. It's very short. It's basically a sentence, but it tells people who are searching for you what you do. And it also helps Google categorize you better, so it aligns with people's searches. So you want to make sure that your website has a meta description. If you have a website developer or have, whether it's a third party or internally, they should be able to make sure that that is all set for you. And then also using keywords throughout your website that apply to what you do, are relevant to your business. Google looks at that to make sure that, again, you're being found for the keywords that you want to be found on. And then when it comes to creating that review strategy, there's really a few key things that are important that we've integrated here at Main Street Bank that have been successful. So we've created a company-wide procedure that helps all of our employees ask for reviews consistently. So it's got the same process, similar language to use when following up with customers. So everybody's got a same set of standards when they're asking for those reviews for people that they helped. Also, you want to remove the obstacles for your customers and the people that you're asking to leave you a review. Make it easy for them, right? Kauthar mentioned that we used QR codes, that people are using those now. So take advantage of them. It makes it very easy. They can scan the QR code with their phone in the moment and then get directed right to where they can leave that review for your company. You can also use email or text to send reminders to the person that you helped to leave that review. So just anything you could do to make it easier for that person is going to give you more success. As Kauthar mentioned, celebrate. You want to highlight those positive reviews. It really helps your team feel motivated to ask for more. It just makes everybody feel good about what you're doing and the people that you're helping, but it keeps it also top of mind for your team. So always celebrate those positive reviews wherever and whenever you can. You can also go beyond that and tie those review scores to your employees' goals or your incentives. So if it's part of their goals, they're likely going to pay attention to it and work on that. So that's one way to make it very top of mind for your employees. Another way that you can make it top of mind internally is by publicly measuring your average scores. And when I say publicly, I mean internal in your company. Maybe you have goals that you post in a public place in your business for your team to see. Add Google review score average to that same place, so you can see that increase with your efforts. People love to see measurements and metrics and numbers and goals trending in a positive direction. So if you can keep that visible for your team, that's going to help you as well. And then another thing that will really help when it comes to responding to reviews is preemptively creating response templates, whether it's to a positive review or a negative review. Obviously, these are going to have to be changed and adjusted based on each review's unique content. So they're not going to be the same response for every single review, but having a template makes it that much easier. So in those moments, you can quickly, tweak it to match the review responding to and put it out there. So like Alden said, you're not waiting a long time to respond to something that's out there. And I know we didn't mention it specifically, but responding to negative reviews is super important. Responding to all of them is very important, but negative reviews even more so. Not because you're always going to resolve that person, that specific individual's situation. Maybe you will, maybe you have, but it's more about what everybody else sees. If you're responding to negative reviews and saying, yep, we've got a solution for you, here's what you can do, that just shows everybody else on the outside, oh, they're paying attention and they're, looking out for the people who have concerns or questions. So I wanted to make a note of that. So with that, we'll open it up to what questions you have for us. And I see, Melissa, you had a question, how often is good? If you want to take yourself off mute and just elaborate on that a little bit.
Yes, so thank you. Alden was mentioning the frequency of updating your Google profile. And so how often do you do that? Like, and I'm assuming you schedule it out and.
Yeah, I'd say there's a couple different ways that you can handle it. After you initially set up your page, it's a good idea to either, to go in every couple of weeks or so, maybe when you're responding to reviews, and just check and make sure that your business information is up to date. And you can also, it's also a good time to go, like if you know that you're going to be, say you're changing your hours for a holiday or something, it's good to go in and just let people know, hey, we're not going to be open on this day, or we're changing our hours on Thursdays to be, we're going to close a little bit sooner. So anytime you make a change like that to your information, that's a good time to go if you can remember it. Otherwise, it's good to just go, periodically every couple of weeks or so, and just take a look over and be like, does this all look okay? Okay, it looks good.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Great question. So I see another question. Did you run into any duplicate profiles you had to reconcile? That is another great question. So I know, with having multiple locations, it does tend to get a little more complicated when it comes to claiming your listings. So, for an institution with 10 branches, that means 10 entities that we have to make sure are, consistent and correct out there on the internet of things. I don't think at any point there was duplicate listings, although there were certainly inconsistencies in terms of the way things were listed. What we ended up doing, and this is a little unrelated to reviews, but in terms of listings, we ended up actually working with an outside vendor that specializes in this, in making sure all your listings online are aggregated, so that any changes, like Alden was mentioning, if we change our hours, if we have holiday hours that we want to put, if there was, in the past couple of years, we're trying to get away from it, but any COVID type updates that we needed to put out there, we could do it from one place and push it out to all of our locations. So that was the most efficient method for us. For businesses that have 1 or 2 or 3 locations, it's probably a bit more manageable to do that through Google's own Google My Business platform. But for us, it just made more sense to outsource it, so we weren't, running around chasing all of these locations. And another question, do you celebrate good reviews as a team or individually? I don't know, Kauthar, do you want to take that one?
Yes, so we recognize that basically publicly within the company, we give shout out, make sure like the manager, the supervisor is mentioned in those reviews. So the CEO, the president of the company always see them as well, and sometimes they comment and like and love, and I want to say majority of the time. So it's really good for that person to know that they've been recognized. Now, it definitely goes back to the managers if they are internally also celebrating this within the team, like in a different way. But I want to say, in addition to that, we quarterly celebrate those again by like saying this branch got a total of or an average of, and that branch gets kind of some sort of a gift or a lunch. Does not have to be anything crazy, but it's a recognition. So I hope that answers that question.
And then, do you typically carry these reviews into your social media accounts as well, such as LinkedIn, Instagram, etc.? Alden, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure. So we have on occasion posted some of our favorite reviews on our social media channels. And the way we've done that in the past is by creating a graphic in Photoshop that kind of can show that review in a little bit better of a frame than just through the line of text that you'll get on Google. And we've shared those in the past and just kind of shown like, hey, this is a really great review. Like we were very happy that this customer had this great experience. And we always make sure to share those reviews anonymously. So they'll have a first name and maybe a last name initial. So we've done that. We've done that a little bit in the past. So it's definitely something that you can do if you're looking to just kind of highlight good reviews. And it can be a nice way to have customers see that their reviews are being taken seriously as well.
Thank you. What other questions do you have? And as I said, when we share the recording of this and the slides, we'll also share all of our contact information. So if you think of something, down the line that you'd like to throw our way, please feel free to do so. We're always happy to help. Again, that's what we're here for. We love supporting our community members and our customers. So whatever we can do to help, just let us know. But again, thank you so much for joining us on your lunchtime. Hopefully you took something away and we'll be sure to share any future sessions with you as well. So thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.